Hello. I am normally a wood carver, but I'm going to be showing you how to carve soap. I know that sounds kind of silly, but if you have children, or if you have grandchildren, or anybody who you're not really quite comfortable with giving them sharp tools, anyone from age 4 until 10, 12, I don't know. What's the age when you feel comfortable? You'll know. You'll know what they're capable of and the safety issues and all of that. So what I'm going to do is, this is actually a really good way to help children get started in working in three-dimensional pieces. Now the techniques I'm going to be using is more how you would do whittling or something like that, using just small little scraping tools, really. But let me just set this up so you can see what's going on here. Alright, so this is, let's see, what I've done here. This is a turtle. Alright, I've already carved this. So, let's see, I haven't done many videos like this, so we're going to just kind of get an idea of how this is going to work. So, all you need is a bar of soap, and use whatever utensils you can find. I've got some old, these are just clay tools or plastic. You can use a knife, one of these little butter knives. I've got a plastic knife. This is actually plastic. I know it looks metal, but it's plastic. You can take these. You can use pretty much anything that you have. And so what you want to do, this is just a simple little turtle, and you can start scraping. Alright, so first of all, before you do this, you want to draw in the area. Alright, so there's a little head there. I don't know if this tool is going to work for this, but head there, and then we've got the body of the turtle coming around like that. Alright, so the body's going to cover the whole area of that. Oops, we forgot a tail. Oh, I forgot a little tail on him. Alright, well, there should be a little tail. Anyway, little tiny tail there. Okay, and then, let's see, there's a foot there, and a foot there, and a foot there, and a foot there. Alright, so anyway, that's the idea, and of course this is a subtle advertisement for Ivory soap. And yes, it's on both sides, so I'm actually going to have to carve below that. Scrape off the logo. Alright, well, I'll do that when I do the other area. Okay, so I need something kind of sturdy, but just want to hold it and just start to shape, looking at it from the top, and just do some general shaping of it. Do you see how I'm holding it in one hand and then just scraping it, really? So if you have grandchildren or children or nieces or nephews, this is an excellent way of getting them involved and starting to think three-dimensional. Okay, so right now we're just looking at it from the top, and I'm just doing a sort of a general shape. Where the feet are. Okay. And the nice thing about this is, if you you can actually take the little shavings and go jump in the bath with it. And another thing you could do, sort of the next step past soap, is you take a milk carton or plastic carton, something that is more, well, it could be round or square or anything, but you take plaster of Paris and you pour it into it, and then you let it dry, and then you have a nice square block to work with, or whatever shape you decide to use. But you have a plaster of Paris that you can also scrape. You don't necessarily have to use sharp tools. Okay, I think we're getting there. It's getting a little lopsided, but... And then you can take the same type of scraping tools rather than sharp tools. And so no need to be holding on to sharp tools and potentially cutting themselves, but you can really start them with a very fun way of seeing and shaping things in 3-dimension. Okay, so far I have pretty much as a viewed from the top. Okay, so this is the head, the body, and then the 4 legs. Needs a little bit of help, but I think we're there. Okay, so now, viewing from the top, that's what we have. And then what I'm going to do is, let's look at the finished one. Do you see how this needs to be rounded over? The feet are lower down, so if you look at it from the side, they're running up along the base. The head is actually raised up. So this is where I want to take the 4 feet and step it down, just bring it down and remove the top, about the top half, so that what's remaining is just right along the base. Alright, you don't want to try to take too much off at a time because you might break things, so just very gently scrape. And the thinner this gets, the more fragile it gets, obviously. And so you just want to be careful of what kind of pressure you put on. Okay, and then just keep on carving that down, lowering that down. And then you want to look at it a lot, look at it, view it from that side, view it from that side, make sure that they're both at the same height. And, ooh, that was close. Now, fortunately, all that's coming off. Okay, and then come back in this direction. And the nice thing about this, it just smells so nice. It smells very clean. Okay, so let's see, we've got the 4 legs lowered down. And I think next I'm going to take this head is going to be, this is the highest part there, but then underneath it it's going to be hollowed out. So again, let's look at this. You see how underneath there is lowered and the head looks like it's sticking out the top. So I'm going to remove some under there so it looks like the head is just raising up a little bit. Okay, and then there's still some thickness there, so I'm going to start to define the edge. Let's angle this so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, like that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just forming the edge. Let's see if I can do this in an easier position so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's working or not. I'm trying to get it so you can see what is going on. Okay, so let's see for that one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the head from the body so it actually looks like it's a little head sticking out. And then I'm going to start to round this, the shell of the turtle. So just go around and round that, come around this side and around that side. And of course at some point, well, I guess I could leave the ivory on there. And the thing is with this, you could use any kind of soap. You could use colored soap just to make it really pretty. And sometimes you can buy soap in bulk, 10 or 12 bars of soap at a time, and you could really have fun with it. Have a carving party. Invite the neighbors over, and maybe sit them outside, because this could potentially be kind of messy. Or sit them in the bathtub while they're doing this. And then get 2 jobs done at once, carving and bathing, and then let all the soap dissolve in the bathtub. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just taking and scraping off the name on top. Alright, so now I think we're getting there. Now what I'm going to do, so you can see that, there's the bottom, and then there's the top. We've already got this rounded. It needs to be rounded quite a bit more, but also what I have right now are these the scratch lines from the knife, which I don't necessarily want. But it actually works pretty well to get rid of the soap, using a knife that has little serrations on it. Okay, and then come down there. So right now what I'm doing is I'm rounding the outside, or running the feet. I'm sure there's probably a name for this, for the, I don't know if they're fins, I suppose. I guess it depends on what kind of turtle it is. If it's a sea turtle, I suppose these are fins. So this is kind of a stylized turtle. If you actually research what turtles are shaped like and all that, it's probably going to be quite a bit different than what I've got here. Sometimes they've got very large front fins, but anyway, we're just getting the basics down. Okay, so I'm taking in, see where that's got the flat area there, just taking and rounding it. And I don't have a tail, so alright, this one doesn't have a tail. If you did want a tail, you just needed to leave a little bit of room and then just add a little extra tail, similar to what we're doing with the feet. Okay, so yes, I think that's looking pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, this is a flat one, alright, this has got some, so I don't want to have that, have the lines from the knife, so I'm just going to, and this is where I can start to really define some corners. Now the type of carving that I do, I actually clamp my wood normally, so it's very, very safe. So if you feel like after they've been working on the soap for a while, once you feel that they are ready to actually start to carve in real wood and real sharp tools, then if you go to my online school, I've got a bunch of free videos that will get you started, and I really go over the safety a lot. Okay, so all of this, like holding on to it, like what I'm doing right there, I recommend not carving that way because you could easily cut yourself. So what I do is I show how to carve so that the pieces of wood are clamped very securely, and all fingers and toes and whatever else is involved are away from the carving. So if you go into my school, it's marymaycarving.com, and there's a bunch of free videos and lessons. And because I absolutely love to carve and I want to be able to keep this kind of a dying art alive, and that's why I started that school. But this is a really, really good way to get people into it, to get young people into it. And not even young people. I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. And you can make little pretty bars of soap. I guess I'm kind of young at heart, so maybe that counts. Alright, and now, it's kind of got a flat head there. Let's round that a bit. And let's look at this. So you see, on this one, you can see little patterns. Kind of this, I guess it's a hexagon. So let's just do a couple little, and this is where you just have to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a pen and do this. It's a little easier to, and then just scrape it in. Okay, and then like that, that. Oops, how many is that? I lost track of the count. Oh no! Alright, well, this is what you can do if you mess up. Let me show you. Oh, where is that? So I'm going to take a little bit more away. I was doing a octagon, and these are actually hexagon. So there you go. It's just a little shorter. Alright, let's try this again. So we've got that like that, and then we've got another one like that, and then one like that, and one like that, one like that, and one like that. Okay, and then we got another one right next to it. Oops, it's kind of gotten off center. You see, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're having fun with it and enjoying what you're doing, it doesn't matter if it doesn't exactly look like a turtle when you're done with it. We hope that it will look somewhat like a turtle, but if not, then don't worry about it. As long as you're having fun. Alright, and then just keep on adding those around. And again, if you wanted to do this exactly like a real turtle, there are a lot of places on the internet you can look and study and make sure that you figure out how many of these hexagons there are and how that works and all of that. So because there is actually a mathematical thing happening on the back of the turtle. Alright, so anyway, and you can do little eyes. Let's do little, very gently poke the eyes. Alright, well, that didn't show up very well. Anyway, I don't want to press too hard because it'll pull that. And then let's do a little smiley face. Okay. Hard to see. Okay, so we have twins. So anyway, so okay, well, that's it. So there they are, two little turtles. But again, it really is a lot of fun, and I could just get lost forever. You could carve a little cat. You could carve if you want to do your initials or something like that. So anyway, just take whatever utensils you have in your in the kitchen. A lot of things can be used, and just take a regular bar of soap. So have fun and happy soap carving.